peppery arugula pesto, crispy roasted eggplant, and sweet peppers, all tossed with radiatori pasta to catch every bit of bold flavor. This is one of the most delicious and healthy pasta recipes you'll make. Let's get started. Okay, we got this one medium-sized eggplant, and I'm just gonna chop this into larger cubes. So removing the ends, and then I like to cut it sort of where it starts to get thicker. And then cut those into planks, probably 3. And thirds again. So we got nice bigger cubes like that. Oven's at 425, so just gonna coat these in olive oil and get them roasting. Adding these to a bowl just to make it easy to toss with some olive oil. Of course, you could salt this to remove any bitterness from the eggplant, but I don't always find that necessary, especially if the eggplant isn't the star of the dish. You probably wouldn't notice any bitterness from the eggplant with all like the pesto and the peppers. And then we're gonna roast it pretty well. So we should be fine on that. And then it's gonna give it a toss with the olive oil. Okay, just putting this on a baking sheet. Just wanted an even layer. Okay, oven's cranking at 425. And we'll probably check those in like 15 minutes. Okay, so while the eggplant's cooking, we're just gonna cut up the peppers. So I got like half of the orange and half of the yellow. I think it's gonna add some nice color. So again, sort of in chunks. Okay, pan's nice and hot on medium heat. So of course, a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Also just gonna add a pinch of salt. Okay, for the pesto, we have about a little over 2 cups of arugula here. Just gonna try to jam this in here as much as we can fit. And then about a 1/3 cup of walnuts. You could also use almonds if you wanted to. I'm gonna add an ice cube, which in theory should help keep the arugula like light green. So it should avoid getting like really dark green, which might not look very appetizing. And then also probably gonna add like a 1/3 cup of olive oil, but just start with half of that probably. And then we'll add more later when we add the cheese as well. So let's see if I can blend this. Oh, and I did forget, I wanted to add like half a garlic clove. And I'm just gonna add more olive oil now to help it blend better. Okay, now I'm gonna add in the cheese. This is like a 1/3 cup of Parmesan. I'd hold back a little for the topping later. And then the rest of the olive oil. And then also a pinch of salt. All right, pesto's looking good. As you can see, it's obviously on the thicker side, but it's gonna thin out very well when we add it to the pasta with some pasta water. But all you wanna do is make sure you taste it for salt. I think that's fine because we'll also add salt, or we also added salt to the peppers, and we'll probably add some to the pasta water. So I don't wanna oversalt it, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. And here's the eggplant. So I left them in for about 20 minutes at 425, and they obviously got pretty golden brown, so looking good. And now these can just wait here while we cook the pasta. Okay, pasta water is ready to go. Just a small handful of salt, and then dropping in a half bag of the radiatori. Quick stir. And the bag actually only said 7 minutes, which is very surprising for this size. It's pretty large. So I'm gonna set the timer for probably 6. All right, peppers are well cooked. Still have a little bit of bite in them, which will be good for texture. So I'm just gonna remove them and add them to this bowl. All right, drop in the pasta straight from the pot to the pan. The pan is off. That's just the residual heat from the peppers. I just want to mix this around. It's going to add 1 ladle about of the pasta water to start. Okay, now I'll add the pesto. Okay, start with like 3/4 of it. A little bit more water. Want to make sure all the pasta is very well coated. Okay, nice. Some of the peppers. Pull back a little, and then the eggplant. I mean, with the arugula, eggplant, peppers, this is one of the healthier pastas you're gonna find. And I think it's gonna be pretty delicious. And I think we can serve it up. All right, get yourself a plate. Pile it up. Then we'll finish it off with a couple more pieces of eggplant on top. And of course, some Parmesan. All right, guys, there you have it. Made a little bit of a cleaner plate here. Can't recommend this enough. The arugula pesto is a little bit bitter, so it goes perfect with the eggplant and the sweetness of the peppers. So I hope you try this one out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.